Good afternoon. Welcome to 94.9 32 FM Scoreboard Reloaded. I am Peter Omo, and I've got DOLAPO and SAMIES with me on the show this afternoon. So it's almost here. Just a few more days, we'll have club football back. But club football will be in kind of action this weekend. We'll discuss that. Also, something about continental football. This weekend in Tanzania, the draws for the CAF 2 Interclub will go down, and the Nigerian club side will find out their opponents. Have you seen that released in the last few hours about the top clubs on the continent? Is it top 20 now? And you begin to find where the Nigerian champion is, and you can't find them. Got me talking. Okay, Samis is looking at me like, check if you see shooting stars there and let me know. And then we can come back and continue the discussion. Okay. There's a CHAN tournament going on. Somebody should help me with this. The CHAN game going on. Algeria is playing against South Africa, and of course the other game coming up for 6 later today. All of this we'll discuss. Of course, transfer news: Algeria lead against South Africa by 1-0, and we'll keep you up to date with that game. It's about 37 minutes hold in that encounter, and of course, like I said, with this we'll bring some perspective into the scene. So, without much ado, DOLAPO, it's a pleasure having you on my left and Sammy's on the right. Let's get it going. Sammy's, maybe because you have your phone with you, you're trying to see with your friends across club side to ask questions about how come they don't have their club side in this, and it doesn't speak well for the image. I've seen this in the last 7-8 years, how Nigerian club side starts the CAF Interclub competition from the word go. Remo Stars will have to do that this year. The Nigerian champion, Eyimba of Aba, got a bye the other time. I don't know, maybe Rivers will have a bye this time. Kwara United and Abia Warriors will have to do it from the word go. And it doesn't bring us in a good place. I saw the release by CAF that Al Ali and Sundowns will be, separated from the other guys. The other guys will go into the draws. Samis, just speak to me concerning this. I also get your DOLAPO's thoughts as we count down to the MPFL season, because the draws are out. Don't tell me you haven't heard. And I also saw something earlier today about Nigerian club side again, how you begin to see the questions around the privately owned team and the state-owned. And the good thing is that at least we have 4 now in the MPFL. There's the Korodu City, there's Remo, there's Khalifa, and then the Barao.
Barao, yeah.
What is Barao in Hausa again?
Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, DOLAPO, and also to the entire people listening to us on the show this afternoon. Well, just like you said, lots of conversation surrounding Nigerian football. And I dare say that it is how we have treated our league. That is why we are on the back end, or will I say back foot when we talk about continental football. I know I've always been saying this, that we have top teams on the African continent, especially champions from each competition. They go into the continental competitions, and then some of them they play from the group stage. Some they play preliminary rounds before they get qualification into the group stage. And then you say, or the question would now be, why have I won the cup title when I'm not entitled to an automatic berth in the continental football competition, starting from the group stage? Like you said, in recent years, we've seen the likes of Eyimba. We've seen the likes, just Eyimba. They've actually been the one who has enjoyed that fortune the most when we talk about Nigerian sides playing on the continental stage, because they play automatically from the group stage, or they just play one round of game, which is over 2 legs, to get promotion outage of the competition. But you look at some other sides, like last season now, it was Nasarawa United who won the League FA Cup last season or 2 seasons ago with the manager, the man who actually led the CHAN Eagles at the point. And then you talk about them not getting qualification into the group stages of the competition, and then they were out. So these things don't really speak well. And I just don't want African football to maybe evolve and look at how they can make things right. How many African teams do we have? How many of the African leagues are in operation? And at the end of the season, how many champions do we have? Why can't we have the top 2 from each league play automatically. That's in the group stages of the competition, and then maybe this and that they can also follow suit. But then talking about that at large, well, it's just so sad that in the top African club sides, we don't have any Nigerian side, which definitely is a bad one. Even the almighty Enyimba, they are not there. Remo Stars, well, I know they've done so well in the last 3 seasons. Probably we'll just say that they are racking up points, they are racking up momentum, and also building their name to get to the top of African football. Because for Remo Stars, I can say that they are a side I'm really impressed with since their promotion into the top flight in the 2021-2022. That's NPFL season. So that has been a good climax for them, finishing third, second, and eventually winning the league title. So that's a good one for them. I'm very sure that they can still be satisfied. But you talk about some other household names in Nigerian football, whom of course they are struggling, or they have struggled to also be in the top 20. It's not really the best for Nigerian football.
You know, like I always like do things when we're on air like this, try to create an opportunity for us to have a proper discussion. DOLAPO, he talked about Remo Stars, what they've done in the last 3 years, and kudos to Remo Stars, kudos to the handlers, kudos to the owners, what they've been able to do. One thing they've not done is take this stuff to the continent. It will take time. I want to cut them plenty of slack, plenty of it, because if they continue like this, I know at a point in time they will conquer Africa. Simba of Tanzania is a case study. A few clubs in the East Africa, they also began this way, and we can say about young Africans also of Tanzania. Yeah. These are clubs that they also had their struggles, but since they've been able to get things right, you see even they poach players from DR Congo, even some Nigerian players who wish to go play for Simba and of course for young Africans. And I say to Remo Stars, it's a matter of time. If they continue in this, they will hit it. I'm only sad that the club side that you expect they have the money, that the money they have, they don't even control it. It's still state-owned club. They don't have accountability. With all due respect, I haven't seen any club side at the end of any season come to say, this is the amount we got from government, this is the amount we got. Good enough, we had the Shooting Stars chairman here a couple of days ago, and he alluded, he agreed that yes, things haven't been right. Because when they sell, when they buy, nobody knows anything. But hopefully with his own tenure, now with Shooting Stars, all of this will be clear to everyone to see the books. So I'm only putting this on the table to say, shame on Enyimba, shame on +. These two teams that I thought in the last 10, 15 years would have its dominance in African football are not enjoying it.
What about Rivers?
Rivers, yeah, thank you, SAMIES. Rivers also. But they're not doing it. And these are states that they have pedigree when it comes to Nigerian football. But failing to take this away from this old local level to the continent doesn't speak well of the brand.
Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, SAMIES. Good afternoon to everyone listening at the moment. For me, I feel like it is just the way the league is. It is just the way we take football in Nigeria. I think many of these states-owned clubs are not run well. They are not well run. Most of these states governors, most of these states are not taking these teams as business. Most of these teams are just being left there for, maybe should I call it just charity, and they are just pumping in money, not expecting anything. And when the government is just pumping money, there is no pressure on the management of the teams.
When you say something like this, DOLAPO, I'll go back to Enyimba of Aba.
Yeah.
They had Felix Anyansi for many years. During his tenure with Audio Zakari, they won the championship.
And that was when they were winning.
Yeah,
2 years.
And then, straight. And Enyimba were also doing well under him.
Yes.
But you said you want a pro. But there's kind of one plays the game.
It won't, I don't know, but I think with what we've seen with Samuel Eto'o in Cameroon, you don't just want to say because you played the game you would work well with it. Get people who are going to work with this team. I don't know how much of Nigerian football does Nnwako understand. He is a Nigerian professional. He played well he played well where he was a player, but that does not mean he would work well as an administrator of any team. It does not mean because you played well as a player does not mean you work well as administrator of any team. When you look at the way Remo Stars is working for the past 3 years, this is is why I agreed with you when you said you are cutting them a whole lot of slacks. For the past 3 or 4 years, this team have been working on how they want to win the league. They are not working on how they want to perform on the continental stage. They've been working on solely on how we want to win this league, and now they've conquered the league. I think for Kule Soname and the team, what they'll be looking at now is how they want to perform in Africa. But I feel like the way the CAF is running this team, to me, is not right, because I'm looking at the way they are running this team, the way they are allowed, the way they are setting their points and all of that. For the winner of the CAF Champions League, the winner gets 6 points, the second person gets 5 points, you get knocked out in the group stage, you get 1 point or thereabout. That does not work, because sometimes you just see a team come out of nowhere, maybe coming out of a relegation, and win their league, and they should get an automatic slot in the group stage.
You know, the other thing that got me a bit, in case you want to find out, the draws will be going down in Tanzania on the 9th of August. That's on Saturday, tomorrow to be precise. But Samis, quickly, let's touch on this before we jump to some other things that we've got lined up on the show this Friday afternoon. Samis, I thought by now, since all we do is copy and paste from UEFA, that...
Football calendar?
No, we don't copy that. We don't copy that.
Our football calendar?
No, LPFL starts in August.
Okay.
South African League starts in August. Okay. That's why you see these boys who are playing for South Africa in this tournament are not the regular
players.
Even though you have most of the regulars for Bafana senior team play in the
They are not playing in PSL, yes.
But in this chart, you don't see the regulars, because the regulars were the ones that were involved in the Club World Cup, so they're not here. So I'm saying this for CAF is when you have in UEFA Champions League the 5 teams coming from
England.
This 6 now.
Yes, 6.
They all go to the group stage straight. They're not involved in the knockout that the likes of Besiktas, Fenerbahce, Glasgow Rangers are all involved in. They go straight into that. I think by now, CAF should be saying, for these countries, for that countries, you will have your place straight in the group stage. You don't have business playing in the preliminary rounds. But yeah, we're still talking about that. Is it because we don't have the numbers like them? I mean, it's 16 teams. Abi?
I think they use what they use is the coefficient of the eventual champions we've had from your country.
Al Ahly and Sundowns will still play. They will not get into the group stage straight like you have in UEFA.
Well, for that, like I said in my opening speech, I think that's not the best for African football. We look at how these club sides, and then you look at the number of games in which they are all going to play. And particularly, I'll just stop in points for Nigerian sides. Even at the start of all of these things, you look at the number of outstanding games that they would actually have if or when eventually they play that's all these preliminary rounds. They have lots of outstanding games, and then you ask them that in the course of playing their outstanding games, how many are they going to win? They hardly win any of those outstanding games, and that's something we've seen so much with Nigerian football clubs. But then for CAF, I think they should just look inward and think of a solution of how the league can be better. And like I said, how many African countries do we have leagues running so well? At the end of the day, we have a league season, and you have at least two champions. You have 2 champions. You have the CAF Champions League. You have the CAF Confederations Cup. After that, then you also look at, okay, you finish the top 3, and you look at the, what's it called now? The rating of the leagues. And then you dare say that on the African continent, okay, you mentioned the top 5 leagues on the African continent. You mentioned the South African League. You mentioned the Egyptian League. Maybe you mentioned the Moroccan League.
Maybe it's Moroccan League.
Moroccan League. Then, well, maybe we'll just put the Nigerian League also in 4th or 5th. We are still in the top 5 of the best leagues on the African continent.
5 or 5th?
Yeah.
I'm not saying, where did you get that? Is it SAMIES?
Well, for me, my own.
When you say your own, because if I put the 5, then I will not be there.
Okay, please, let me get your 5. Let me get your 5.
The PSL will be there.
Yes, South African
The Egyptian League will be there.
Okay.
The Moroccan League will be there. If you're not careful, I will rate the Tanzanian League above your league.
They are performing outside, yes.
I will rate the Angolan League ahead of your league.
Okay.
It's not even the top. I will rate you're going be in 9-10. I can go on.
Well, I think I would kind of agree with what Peter is saying, because when you want to think
Zambian League than your league.
When you want to think about it, you would.
What about the Senegalese League?
No.
I know you're going to want to.
I know where SAMIES is going.
It's about infrastructure and capacity.
Yes, I know about that.
Your league is even struggling for TV rights. Don't forget what the other president said. You're not sure of giving it to what that TV now. Don't mention it, because if you mention those, how many they will bring the bill. Your league is not on TV.
I think it's not even only.
See, The other thing is that I know somebody will say, how about this? Your 4 teams that will be playing on the continent will not be playing their games at their home ground.
I think we made mention of that.
So
we made mention of that.
All of these things also, there's the capacity. That was why I was saying the other day when the president was dishing out money. I was not against it.
Should invest in something else.
I saw that.
No, will you blame? No,
the governor of
for
somebody
this
get 50 million recently. What's that governor again?
I think it's the governor of Ondo State.
No, Ondo was 30 million. Okay, Benue State.
You won't
He
blame.
gave Odega,
Francisco Odega.
50 million. I'm not saying don't give money.
See, Peter, you won't
of this
blame.
thing
You
will
won't
play
blame.
out.
You won't blame the presidency for doing all of those things.
I did not blame.
So,
I only
see,
said, see,
You
it
should
is
have
not right.
invested
Okay,
more.
You do invest in these guys.
Okay, now
You did not
we
invest
talk
in
about
them.
investment. Now, aside from the presidency, let's not forget that we have
Yeah, it's 1-1 now,
that's the
halftime.
cadre of that's government.
Yeah.
Presidency. We also have the states,
I have
and then
put
we
the
have the
blame.
local.
I said government. So both. In fact, I will not be surprised if local government to say, Odega, are you from Makurdi?
Yeah. It is. That is also
So
possible.
that's where you pick the blame from. The local
the
government,
blame
all
is
of
on
them,
everybody.
See,
Government, SAMIES.
We have. I think
Both
with
local,
the
both
way
federal, both state,
maybe
both
when
districts, is all of them. See, and it began from the presidency. If the president wasn't giving out that amount of money, I'm not saying the money they gave out is not my problem here. My problem is how much of this thing, how much of the budget allocated to the NSC is channeled right. We have to move on.
This is the
SAMIES
second year.
dragging
This is
me
the
away
second
from-
year. This is the second year of NSC. Or well, they'll just conclude.
No,
one
it's
year.
not-
Before
not-
NSC, there was Minister of Youth and Sports. What did they do with the allocation? What did they do with the
Senator
budget?
John Owaneno.
What did they do with the budget? We went to the
We went to
Olympic
the
Games.
Olympics.
We had crisis.
0
but
medals,
no result.
and there's still
We
a
spent
lot of talks about that
taxpayers'
Olympics.
money on all of these
Nothing
things.
yet
And
to
then
be
you say
done
your
about
league-
it
your league
actually.
is a far cry. It's a far cry. Those who run the league know it's a far cry. That's why I gave kudos to Governor 𝐶𝐈 based on what I heard from the chairman when he was there on Tuesday. Those were good words. They were lovely. But we know the cocoa is action. When you put the right people, who understand, they get me, who understand, the people who understand the essence of making money from sport and not seeing it as a. The other thing I also failed to mention to the chairman the other day was, I hope people will not enter that stadium with their family member and not pay a dime for gate fee.
No, he said something like that.
I hope that will stop.
I hope it stops with us. Us. When I say us.
Okay.
When I say
Okay, I
us,
get where you're going to. I get where you're
So that
going
was
to.
mentioned in our discussion away from the studio. One of the things I explained to him.
I just
keep
hope it
doing
stops
that.
with us.
He also stopped with journalists who come in with their girlfriends, with their wives, with their family members.
Don't break
to
the
come
glass.
To come watch
It has
the
to be
game.
broken
You
because-
can keep them at home. Put them at home. You want to come and watch? If you want them to come and watch, pay for them to sit at the VIP.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on. Zesco is in now. Going to have a party on Old Trafford. Hockey is this key signing. I thought it was going to be Zesco to Arsenal. Zesco to Arsenal.
Gyökeres to United. Yeah.
But it's the other way around. And this two will play in the opening
First
game of
game.
the English Premier League.
Well, I think for me, United have gotten a very good striker in their books. Fine. Yes, they've gotten a very good striker in their books. Benjamin Sesko is a raw talent. I understand. I understand where SAMIES is coming from. I understand why he's laughing. But when you're talking about having a raw talent with them, this is. So I feel like they've gotten themselves a very good striker. Maybe when you look at the antecedents, when you look at the past two strikers they've gotten, although Joshua Zirkzee said he's not a striker, he said he's a 9.5. When you look at Rasmus Højlund, he's on his way to AC Milan. When you look at those two guys they signed for close to 100 million euros. He said
I'm a
striker, I'm a 10. So when you look, so I feel like
he's half a striker.
he's half a number 10 or
So-
backup striker.
That's also good for 𝐃𝐈𝐒 too, right?
He does not come out to call himself a 9.5.
No, it also fits into that bill, SAMIES.
maybe.
9.5.
But you actually look at how influential these players they've been since they have moved to England. I know a lot of people will say 𝐃𝐈𝐒 has spent up to 4 or 5 years in England.
Yes.
But then you look at Joshua Zirkzee. Well, did he hit the ground running in his first season? No. But for 𝐃𝐈𝐒, did he do that? Yes. he did.
Yes.
He won them the UEFA Champions League, right?
Scored in the final.
He scored in the final.
Crucial one.
Yes.
And that's why Chelsea fans that can boast around and say 𝐃𝐈𝐒, we have 2 UEFA Champions Leagues. So,
Okay.
but I'm not saying it's a bad signing for Manchester United.
But you
Benjamin
laughed.
Sesko.
You laughed
Sesko
Yes,
is
I
good.
laughed because that was a guy who that is dealing with the transfer window.
How
His
was-
agent, not him.
How was he?
Don't bring Victor Gyökeres into this. Don't bring Victor Gyökeres into this.
I'm not bringing Victor Gyökeres. Do you know that he also reduced his salary for Manchester United so he could join the Red
He
Devils?
had no other choice.
He had no other choice because
Hold
you
on.
know teams kept calling, right?
Hold on. You said he reduces. When you saw the likes of Gyökeres moved, everybody is moving.
𝐃𝐈𝐒 moved.
So what
Everyone
do you
is
think
moving.
He would have.
Well, for RB
even
Leipzig,
Gyökeres
they've been
also
posting
reduced.
pictures since yesterday.
Who?
I'll be like,
𝐿 You know, he's,
Yeah.
he's a guy who
He can
is
fly,
who has the jumper and all of that.
Yeah.
So they've been posting pictures of him so way in the that's above that's the ground and in training and also on the field of play. And so we hope that he actually brings that to Manchester United.
Did it against
But
Liverpool.
then he is a striker, and we all know the problem for Manchester United. The services, the providers. How many are
does
they?
the signing of the Slovenia resolve all the crisis around them?
It
and scoring
doesn't.
goals?
It doesn't.
I think so, because when you look at what they have
Mbeumo
now,
and Kuna?
Matheus Cunha, Brian Mbeumo would create. They have creative players now. Bruno Fernandes will create too. They would create chances. I feel like I don't know why SAMIES is laughing, but last season they scored 44 goals.
See, Peter.
These are guys that will give you goals.
These are crucial.
You won't see me laugh. You won't see me laugh at Chelsea.
These are facts on the
You won't
table.
see me laugh at
So why are you laughing at
Manchester City.
Why-
You
why
won't
are
see
you
me
Liverpool?
laugh
why are you
at
laughing at the Red
Liverpool.
Devils?
You won't see. I look at Manchester United and I say, okay,
Hold on,
this
man.
is still a
Man,
problem
you said-
lying
you said-
for
you said-
this.
Where is the
you said
problem?
The other time.
Where?
Wait, guys. You said the other time that
That midfield is still not.
They are talking about Baleba.
SAMIES the other time.
70 million.
I don't think they have the
Brighton
money,
is
though.
going to-
No. You're not going to tell.
Brighton is
I
going
don't-
to suck them dry.
Okay.
Brighton would ask for
Don't-
120 or
don't
115.
Don't change the discussion around.
Sesco
Don't change that
provision
discussion
goals.
around you saying that where would the goals come from?
Yes.
The question you asked, there was begging for answers. They found one in Mbeumo and Cunha, like I mentioned yesterday. Both of them scored goals at plenty last season.
Yeah.
And both can also create chances for
Oh,
whoever that
lots.
is number 9. So I asked, we hope they get the goals. Because you guys were here, were saying, 𝐔𝐒 you said is 9.5.
Yeah.
Holland is 9.
They both contributed 7 goals last season in the league.
But now you have a
Poor.
player that can give them, in fact, the goals in terms of the area battles in the box.
He's not finished. No, he's not a complete striker yet. He's a raw good, but he still needs to be furnished. He scored just 13
what I
goals
wanna
last
say
season.
is for Højlund and 𝐷𝐶𝐒, when they were brought into Manchester United, they were big prospects, right? Coming into Manchester United.
And it
Did they
didn't work.
deliver?
They don't have time.
No.
It
So
didn't
this is
work.
another prospect, right? Let's see how it goes.
Okay. So seeing about all these things going, DOLAPO,
Yeah.
the last 24 hours, what's transfer news that really got you talking?
Well, for me, I think it is just all about who Newcastle United will be signing or who they are looking into. I've seen talks of Jan Wissa trying to force a move from Brentford at the moment, and I'm not.
𝐃𝐈𝐒
Yeah, 𝐃𝐈𝐒.
to Newcastle.
Well, that would be very interesting
I saw
for me.
it.
That would be
Did you
very
see
interesting for
it?
me. I don't know for them. I don't think 𝐃𝐈𝐒 would work. I don't think
𝐃𝐈𝐒.
Arsenal. I'm not very sure 𝐃𝐈𝐒's coach would
People
want to
are
let him
saying
go.
about
No, I feel like they're also talking about Samu Agewuwa or Maodion. I feel that one would be better for them than going for 𝐃𝐈𝐒 or Nicholas Jackson. For me, I don't know why. Maybe
For
SAMIES.
Newcastle?
Yes.
Yes,
I think
Samu would
for
score
them-
goals.
No, not Samu. I would actually pick Jackson for Newcastle.
What are you guys seeing from Jackson? I'm not seeing it.
You're not saying that's
I'm
why-
not
that's
saying
why I'm picking
it.
the Newcastle for him.
Hold on. The
Okay,
funny thing
well,
about-
no
the-
pressure.
The funny thing
No
about
pressure.
this
Okay.
Jackson thing at Newcastle is that if he gets to play, if he gets to sign for Newcastle, he will not start for Newcastle in the first because he has a red card.
Yeah, he has a red
against
card.
Newcastle.
Yes.
See,
So
okay,
I want to say this. A lot of people are looking at Jackson as a bad player.
It's not
Or
that bad.
When you say bad, what do you mean by bad?
underperforming player. Let
Yes.
me put it as that.
He's
Underperforming.
He's underperforming.
Player. So I want
He's
us to look.
underperforming.
I want
Yeah.
us to look
And
at.
Chelsea are looking for
I want
100 million,
to
80
see.
million to
I want us
get
to
him
look
out.
at last season when Nicholas Jackson was not playing for Chelsea Football Club. Were they winning games?
That he was out.
When he was out.
But do they have another good
Were they
striker?
winning games?
No.
No. But now Chelsea, they have a new striker in who? João Pedro.
João Pedro and Leon Delap.
He's
And
probably a
Leandelo.
striker.
See,
Oh,
he's
that's
a
another
9.5.
9.5.
He's a 9.5. He's a 9. In fact, I can.
He's a 9.5.
Okuku
Yes,
is a 9.5,
yes.
but this is a 9.5.
But
who
they have
has
DOLAPO
found-
now. DOLAPO is a 9.5.
DOLAPO is a 9.
He's a
That
full-
striker, they got in another striker.
I've had a
but
new
now,
watch this morning.
you want
This
to
afternoon, 9.5.
9.5.
so you want to look at these two. Out of these two strikers that Chelsea Football Club they have in replacement for and Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah.
Only one has proved himself from time to time in the English Premier League, and that's João Pedro from Watford now to Brighton. And then you look at Liam Delap from the Academy of Manchester City, right, to Ipswich. And then one season, Chelsea, yes, they got him.
He didn't do badly.
He didn't do bad. I'm not saying he did bad, but he did do bad. But then what will happen at the long run when all of these things are run dry for Liam Delap and João Pedro? So for me, I still look at it as Jackson